Alright, today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a digital multimeter. Yeah, not a lot on the box. Let me see if we can focus in on the barcode there. Something like that. It's not an expensive one. Anybody can afford this guy. I think it's unique in that it's more like a cell phone size, full screen. It's got some buttons and all that jazz. But before we get into that, today's video is brought to you by Harbor Freight tape measures. Just go to Harbor Freight, get yourself 10 of them. That way at least you can find one when you need it. Buy 10, you're guaranteed to find one. If you buy 9, you won't find a single one. Gotta get 10 of them. Alright, that's that. Let's tear into this and see what we got. Oh, I see. There we go. Alright, a box in a box. Test leads, thermocouple, and Zamita, and some instructions. Got a pretty red one. I didn't know if it's going to be red or black, honestly. I've had this to review for quite a while, and I just, I'm just getting around to it now. I've been a little on the busy side. Yeah, I mean, there's my hand, and there's the meter. Got a couple of light bulbs there, LEDs, and 3 buttons here on the side. Power button up on top. Some sticky stuff here, protective stuff. All right, let's see what happens. Anything? Probably nothing. Shouldn't have any batteries in it. Nah, nothing. So, take it out of its protection, huh? Alright, let me go put some batteries in this guy and get on to checking this thing out. Alright, we are, well, getting ready to test this thing out. I put some batteries in it and made a discovery. Put it back into, it's whatever, vinyl, some kind of plastic protective case here, and went to turn it on, or turn it off actually, because it automatically came on as soon as I put the batteries in. This power button, yeah, let's get a little closer here. Power button, yeah, it no virky. it's stuck down, I guess. It doesn't, I mean, there's zero movement. I mean, I was pushing on this thing, and it's got a, I think you can see it right there. I mean, it's lined up, it's in the correct position, but I was pushing on it and nothing was happening. Can't turn the thing off. And I tried to pop the button back up. I mean, there's movement in the, yeah, I can wiggle it a little, but it's stuck. It don't move. All right, so yeah, that's yeah, what do you want for a nickel? Anywho, let's talk about the meter a little bit anyway before we get into some actual testing. 3 buttons on the side, and actually I'm not going to use that. I'm not even going to put the cover back on because I'm going to take the damn thing apart. We're going to check out the guts on this thing at a certain point here in the review. But what we got here is light. Yeah, I know there's a lot of light in this room too. Press and hold, and the backlight comes on. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, that's coming out on camera. I know there's a lot of light in here. Well, you got to have light for recording, and so bear with me here on that one. But whatever, it's got a backlight. It's got auto. It's got an auto mode. Let me get to it. Where everything just automatically happens. I guess it will automatically detect what you're trying to do with the thing and automatically adjust. Otherwise, you can manually adjust with this lower button here. We got resistance. No glare? Yeah, that's good, I think. No resistance, diode check, capacitance. I don't know what that is. I gotta read the manual on that. It says live, but I don't know. I gotta look it up. Temperature Celsius and temperature Fahrenheit. There's you just got to cycle through everything to get to the mode that you want to ultimately use, and then it goes back to auto. It has a flashlight, which I don't know. It's not the brightest thing. My room is brighter than this. I don't think it makes any. You can kind of see it. I'm sure, you know, in a dark, really dark environment, you know, that would certainly be a whole lot better than nothing. But yeah, you get long press to turn it on, long press to turn it off, that kind of a thing. And of course, the meter itself, you can't turn it off. Oh, what will they think of next, huh? Anywho, first impressions of the leads here, the test leads. They are quite short. Yeah, I don't even need a tape measure on that. It's they're going to be about I'll call it 20 inches. 20 inches of usable flexibility out of them. They're probably, you know, 24 total length, but they're cheap. You know, nothing special. The meter's cheap. You know, again, nothing. You know, you're not getting a fluke. But what we're going to do, we're going to compare it to a fluke. You know, if the numbers, I mean, if it works, you know, if the numbers are accurate, well, good enough is good enough for, you know, something you just want to throw in your truck and use occasionally, that sort of thing, which is my intention on this guy. But we're going to check it out, put it through its paces. It does this live view thing. I got a power cord here. It's plugged in. At least we can, it's running away from me. Stay there. At least we can check that out real quick before I set up the other tests. To get to the live view thing, you just push this middle button here once. It's the flashlight button also. Press and hold the flashlight button to, you know, activate it, and then just momentarily press the no contact voltage thing, and it'll say EF on the screen, and oh man, that glare. And then it'll say NCV down, you know, down there. Well, all right, there we go. Still working. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be really, you know, you got to be right up on it. So, I mean, I guess I wouldn't trust it. I would use, you know, actual test leads. If you want to know if something's live, well, test it. I would not trust that, but kind of. I mean, kind of. It's not fast, but you're gonna have to be right up on it. So, all right. I mean, it works. It does what it said on the tin. So, you know, thumbs up there. But, all right, what I think I'm going to do here real quick, clear off this mess here. I'm going to get my fluke. I got a fluke 87V we're going to put up here. And we're going to do a little side-by-side. We're going to do, well, we're going to test everything that this thing's capable of doing. Side-by-side, apples to apples. I'm going to pause here, set that up, and we'll tune back in later. All right, here's the basic premise, what we're gonna do, huh? I got my Fluke 87V. That's a very, very new meter. Doesn't have much usage. Not many hours is what I'm trying to get at. Practically brand new. I'm gonna keep these leads here where, you know, everything is kind of wrapped up and condensed. Keep these leads over there, and we're going to do our connections with, you know, alligator clip jumper leads here. That way I don't have to touch anything. My hands, my own electrical field will not have any interference whatsoever. We can do apples to apples, consistently repeatable, or repeatably, I think, anyway. All right, I wanted to, well, I had to plug my tablet in. Battery's running low. Oh, you auto shut off and I can't turn it back on? Because the button no verky. Oh, man, we're about to have some fun. Something like that. Hopefully it'll just turn right back on. Yes, it did. All right. So it does have an auto shut off. We've learned that much. What I was doing, what I'm trying to figure out here, trying to understand, and I don't get it. If you guys know, hey, clue me in, because I'm pretty good with scopes and meters, but I've never heard this kind of lingo, this terminology, this, yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. So that live thing, and that's what it is. Live. L-I-V-E. I know it looks like L-I-U-E, but it's live. That's what they're trying to do there. You can't do it with these square digits. You can't make a V. So I get it now that I get it. Anywho, single watch pen wire test. What the actual hell is that? Never heard of it before. Supposedly there's some sort of a pen. Insert the meter stylus into the power socket. What stylus? Where? There's nothing else in the box. You saw what I saw, and there ain't no damn stylus. I know what a stylus is. My tablet has one. That's a freaking stylus right there. You draw, it's got buttons on it. You do things with a stylus. That's a stylus. Ain't no stylus in the box. So, I mean, it don't do nothing. You know what I mean? So if somebody knows, clue me in, because honest to God, I ain't got a clue. Anywho, something about the stylus. If the instrument detects AC voltage, it will display voltage signal strength based on the detected signal strength. Again, clueless. I don't. What stylus? What is it doing? What is the purpose of this? I don't. Well, we're not going to test it because I don't know. There are no better instructions than that. That's you know, that's it. That's all she wrote. So whatever that is, I don't know. We ain't going to do nothing with it because I just don't understand. But what we are going to test, we're going to do some DC voltage. I got two different resistors and two different capacitors. And what we're going to do for a diode, we're going to use a little green LED here and do a side-by-side test comparison. And then we'll do AC voltage and just see who agrees, disagrees, or hopefully they both agree. I don't know. We're going to find out. Then last we'll throw the thermocouple in there and see how hot it is in this room. It's warming up. I got a lot of light power going on. All right, I think we're pretty much ready to do this. Let's start off with a DC voltage test here. Again, like I said, I'm just using, so I don't have to touch the leads. It's as fair and as honest as I can possibly think to make it. You know, we're just going to swap leads, alligator leads, like so. And I know I have the polarity reversed. I did that on purpose because I want you to see that the fluke shows that the polarity is backwards. Let's see, and then we're getting 1.479. 1.479. So let's see what the other one says, y'all. And I'm going to do the same thing, reverse the polarity. 1.479 is the number to beat. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, like that. Suppose, yeah, I'm not going to change anything. Let's see what happens. Let's see what it does. I don't know. Again, that pen test, I don't know. We're going to put it in auto and see what it does. And it auto did. Okay. I mean, a tenth of a volt. A tenth? Oh. That's right. Yeah, it's right there. It's 1.7, 1.479. It's right there. Same numbers. There we go. So DC voltage, at least for the battery, 100%, you know, identical readings there. So good on that one. Now, again, we'll just leave this one in auto. Let's go for a big resistor here. Well, actually, it's a small resistor. It is, oh my God, my eyesight. I can't read it. 1 ohm, 10%, 1 ohm. So, let's see what it auto does. It's a ceramic resistor. Yeah, I guess you can see that. Below 50 ohms, and it got it, 1 ohm. Below 50 ohms, it will automatically do a continuity test, and it will automatically buzzer. Above 50 ohms, it's supposed to be not buzz. It'll be silent. You'll just get a reading. So that was good on that. Yeah, let me just, yeah, don't do that. That was 1 ohm. It was perfect. Yeah, I have no idea. 2.171, 170, 2.17, yeah, 2.171, 170. All right, we'll swap this over real quick to that. Let's see what the fluke says. A little different here. Now we're getting 2.174. This was a 2.171, 170. Yeah, it's right there. It's real damn close. So, not bad. Let's see what we get on the 1 ohm resistor here. For the fluke, 1.2 ohms, 1.1, 1.2. All right, so yeah, it's not the same. There is certainly a difference there. You decide which one you believe. It's real damn close, though. I mean, it's if you were working on a circuit board, it would matter, but you know, for general stuff, it probably wouldn't. You know, if you're just testing switches and grounds and that kind of thing, this I mean, that's close enough, right? One of them's telling the truth. You would think, anyway, because this was factory calibrated. So, and I actually have the sheet for that. Anywho, let's try a capacitance test here. Got to switch my my mode to capacitance. What do we got? 103 microfarad, and this is rated for 100 UF. I'm getting 103. It's right there. It's close. Still a good cap. Yeah, I'll just do them one at a time here. Try that again. Nope, can't figure this one out. It's not auto doing capacitance, so we'll put it there. Hello. Oh, there we go. 103.7. That's fine. I mean, 104. 104.3. All right, well, it's you know, it's a little off. Close, right? I mean, it's close. It'll definitely, you know, if you're doing HVAC or something like that, and you have a you know, a 50 microfarad run capacitor or something like that, you're going to be close enough. You'll know that you got a good one or a bad one here. But you know, it's almost $400, $35. $435. You know what I mean? You gotta pick your poisons here. All right, so that cap tested out good. Let's do this cap too. Next, rather. See what this one reads. Wait for it. It's a little on the slow side to take a reading. I don't know if it's one sample per second, but 14.81, 8. It's dropping. Is it stable yet? 14.7677. Yeah, 14.7677, something like that. All right, and go back to the fluke hell. 14.6. You know, it's close. It's real close. I mean, I wouldn't complain about that. Again, I wouldn't be, you know, fixing a motherboard with this thing, but yeah, if I want to be quick and dirty and know what the hell's going on out in the, you know, out in the real world somewhere, you know, some job site, yeah, that'll work. That'll get the job done for sure. That was 2 capacitors, 1 battery. Let's do a diode test with the LED here. There we go. Let's see what the fluke says with this. It says nope. Let me turn that around. And it says 1. Well, that's just test voltage. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that's working. I mean, the diode only allows electricity to flow in one direction, so it's blocking there and it's flowing in the other direction. Damn it. Okay, it's blocked there. Let's see what this one does. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Well, let me go back to auto. See if it automatically, you know, detects changes. Oh yeah, why don't I hook it up? Nothing. All right, so I'll manually put it into diode, and it says over voltage or over limit. Oh well. I'll just swap them here. And there, you know, you get your base test voltage. So shows that it blocked in one direction and flowed in the other. So yeah, that worked. Now we're going to set up here and we're going to test some AC voltage. Got you ready to rock and roll. I'm going to leave this in auto. Let's see what it does. Like I said, I'm currently plugged into my tablet here. Battery's a little low on that guy. So I'll let it charge while we take a reading. The fluke says 124 point, yeah, 124 point something. Clearly in a slight state of flux, but 0.5, 0.3, 0.4, 124 and a half. All right. Now, see what this guy says about that. Let's see, first of all, does it auto... Yeah, you can see that. Does it auto change to the proper scale or what? AC 124.2. Hey, well... Oh, and 60 hertz. Well, 59.9. That's nice. It throws up the frequency for you right away, right there on the bottom. On mine, I have to switch. Yeah, I have to switch on mine to get frequency, I think. Oh man, I almost got stuck. I'm pretty sure I gotta switch modes to. Yeah, I know I have a specific frequency mode on the fluke, but I couldn't remember if it flashed a number or something there on the bottom where the bar graph is, and no, it doesn't. So that's nice. That does something that my fluke didn't do. Threw up the frequency for me right away. All right, so there's our basic, our basic measurements for pieces, parts, components, and voltages. Let's check out the temperature here. Now, real quick now, once. This is a very, like I said, the meter is very new. Hardly any usage on it. You know, I've got a couple hours on it for sure, but not a lot of. Where's my temperature thing? There we go. Fahrenheit, and plug that in. Try not to touch anything. 67.2 degrees. Does that light help at all? Probably not. All right, let's see what this guy thinks. This is a much different thermocouple. It's definitely not a K-type. I don't know what this is. It's just one of those whatever. It's just one of those temperature resistors on the end. Well, I mean they all are, but this is a heavier duty version. This will go to. Oh, I'm struggling with memory here. I think that's good for, you know, right up in the 1,000-degree range. This one, I don't know. Okay, doesn't like that. Let me try the auto again. Auto. Yeah, nothing doing. All right, you got to switch. Manually switch the modes there. Temperature Celsius 21 degrees. Yeah, no glare. 22 degrees, no glare. Fahrenheit 70. All right, so quite the difference. Let me try and get these. Damn. Whatever. It was coming off anyway. Yeah. All right, they're pretty much. I mean, they're right next to each other. 66.7. And this one's reading 69 at the same location. I mean that's damn near the same location, right? So I mean that's a fair test. 68. Does it make a difference if I blow on it? No. All right, so that's that. I think we're done with our testing. I think we've established what is what. We've seen what we need to see, and yeah. How about we take this damn thing apart, because it works. It works well enough, accurately enough. You know, like I said, I'd keep it in my truck. I think that's going to be my intended purpose for this guy. However, it's no go with that button, and when I flipped it over, I happened to see the seal of approval there. Quality control passed, number 1. Well, whoever worker number 1 is, they should be fired, because nothing wrong with the box. I'm sure this was done before it was packaged. And yeah. Yeah. What do you want for a nickel, huh? But there is no downward movement on that. Like I said in the beginning, or showed in the beginning, I can kind of pry it up a little bit. But anyway, off camera I took the screws out. So I'll just take the batteries out of this thing and see if it comes apart. Oh, yes it does. Yes it does. Oh, look at that. It's broken right the hell off. Well, there's your problem. Let's see. Yeah. It's right there. Trying to get the best shot here. I'm looking at a smaller screen. Yeah, it's there we go. The switch. All right. Yeah, if I move that probably one more time, it's just gonna snap. Oh, that's why. Yeah. The see if I can get you a more direct view here. See how it, yeah, it just broke right off the board, the switch. Huh. Ah, hell. Yeah, either there was no solder or not enough solder, or not a good solder joint. But yeah, it's supposed to be soldered right here on both sides, right to the main board. And Yeah, if there were, well, I can't see it. Let me grab the magnifying glass. And, well, maybe you can see too through the magnifying glass. Yeah, that is no damn good at all. Quality control. All right, well, I mean, there's that. We do have fuse protection for, I'm assuming for amperage. Looks like one fuse has been jumped out. I bet you that'd be another fuse. Could be wrong. Not 100% sure. But yeah, I don't design the stuff. I just use the stuff. You know what I mean? Same as most of you, I'm sure. But yeah, there's not a lot going on in here. It looks like one of these is going to be a display driver, I think, and the other is going to be a main processor that does all the work. But yeah, that's a no-go right there. All right, I'm not going to get into trying to fix that in this. I will wrap up this review right here, I think. I'm sure it's a fluke. I'm confident. I mean, hey, it happens. It happens. Yours is probably going to work fine, but hey, I got one of the bad ones. So, what do I think of the meter? I like the meter. I like the idea. I like its basic capability. Trying to beat the glare. I got the glare, but you don't now. I like the large display. I mean, there's a lot of bells and whistles here for not a lot of money. Is it rugged? No. Is it any kind of industrial grade? Hell no. But is it okay for 35 bucks? Yeah. I mean, overall, if you got one with a working power button, of course. Yeah, I don't see a problem with it for 35 bucks. Is it a 5-star product? Hell no. But, realistically, I think it's okay. I think it's probably, high 3s to an honest 4-star rating. I don't really have any problems with it aside from the fact that, power button's broken on mine. And the stylus thing, whatever the hell that is, but whatever it is, I'm sure is a feature that, I would never use regardless. But, all right. I think that's going to wrap this one up quite neatly and nicely. Raha. It's okay. I like it. You saw what I saw. You know what I know about it. And, well, maybe you know more. Maybe you know what that stylus thing was all about. But, yeah, me, I've never heard of such a thing. Anyway, hope the review was helpful. Hope you enjoyed this. And do the thumbs, the bells, and all that like and subscribe and that crap. And, all right, we're going to see you in the next one. Cheers.